Hi out there in LDA land. It's your favorite friend. Yes, your favorite friend, Agent K here. And I wanted to talk to you really quickly about the news that is coming out from the cruise lines about getting back on board. Let's lay our cards on the table here. Everybody knows me personally, knows I am a cruiser. I try to go on a cruise at least once every 2 years as my wallet allows. And I do long-term planning for my cruises. I get really excited for my cruises. Cannot wait for my cruises. So this whole shutdown and quarantine and not doing cruising is like cramping my mental well-being. This is how I recharge. This is how I have fun. So the last 2 days, both CLIA, which is the Cruise Line International Association, I got that right, yay! As well as Royal Caribbean and Norwegian have set out protocols for us and crew to get back on the ship. Some of these protocols are the same protocols that we do every day anyway. Wear masks, social distance, you know, don't be in big crowds, blah, blah, blah. Some of the changes that are happening for us as well as the crew is that now we are looking to get back on a cruise, and most cruise lines are starting back up on November 1st or 2nd. We are a little bit out, a month out, as well as what is next for cruising. So there are some temporary and as well as permanent guidelines that are coming down the pipe. So both CLIA, Royal Caribbean / Norwegian Healthy Sail Committee, Council, put together similar guidelines and how it affects us. So number one, they're asking for all passengers to get their COVID test 5 days to 24 hours out from the cruise departure. Meaning, if I'm going on a cruise tomorrow, I have until midnight today to get my COVID test. And getting my COVID test means I have to bring the results to the cruise line when I check in. That's awesome for me. Royal Caribbean and Norwegian is asking for a second test. I don't know if that will be possible given the short time constraints, and as well as some of the people are saying, you know, when you do the test, you have to wait 14 days to do a second test. Unless the cruise lines that are shipping from the United States are doing like MSC, which are doing tests and medical exams prior to you going on the ship. I mean, right there in the port. So they give you a test and then they have a medical interview with you. With the recommendations of CLIA as well as Royal Caribbean and Norwegian, you will get some kind of questionnaire on medical at the port. As for the crew will be tested twice. So they'll be tested in their home, and then when they get to the ship, they're going to be quarantined for 14 days. And then after the quarantine of 14 days, and this is 14 days with no passengers, just crew. After the 14-day quarantine, they take the test again, and if they pass, everybody goes on the cruise. Yay! The crew will also have periodic testing every once in a while, and it won't be the whole crew. It will be like a select few this time, a select few that time, because COVID, like everything else, has different incubation times for different people. So as someone who has pre-existing as a diabetic, I would, if my doctor says, will probably have to test 2 or 3 times before I go on a cruise. But either way, I have to go by a doctor's recommendations. COVID is different in so many people that systems that, you know, you can't test the whole ship at the same time. because you as the server is different, health-wise is different than the captain, who, and you both might be in top physical shape, but medically the server could have diabetes and the captain might have a heart condition. So you don't know, and when I say don't know, I mean scientifically. We don't have like hard evidence of what the disease does for each individual. All we know really is that for this group of people, it can be really bad. For this group of people, it may not. So we're still learning. Now, there's going to be enhanced cleaning, which we all know. It's going to be hospital grade disinfectants, hopefully without the hospital smell. Fingers crossed. And on some cruises, they're doing what I'm calling radiation cleaning. So it's like what they do here in New York with the trains. When the trains are shut down from 1 a.m. to 4 a.m., they're doing like a laser cleaning that's supposed to get in every nook and cranny of the train so it can be sanitized. CLIA is suggesting that when you go into the port, that your luggage get cleaned, which I didn't see this in Royal Caribbean or Norwegian's recommendations, but CLIA is saying, you know, let's do a radiation cleaning of the suitcases as well. So if you're going on a cruise, I strongly suggest that you get a hard shell suitcase. I'm going to suggest that for everybody, whether you go on a cruise or not, because I have a feeling once the cruise lines and CDC make their arrangements on how they're going to do things and how they're going to sanitize things, that every other mode of transportation might follow. So we're talking about airlines, we're talking about maybe not the trains, but definitely the airlines. So these are the things that I will suggest. And my suggestions are just my opinions and what I am doing. I already got a hard shell suitcase. I got it like 2 years ago, and I got it because I got tired of the cloth ones breaking down so quickly. As for excursions, I personally just started going on excursions and I enjoy excursions. I personally rather go walking around the port and self-explore and then come back to the ship. I mean, I'm not going to go too far off of the port. We're talking about maybe 20-30 minutes away and then 20-30 minutes back to the ship. That's how far I will get. I just want to walk around and you know, touch the ground. You know, but the excursions I went on 2 years ago was awesome excursions, and I was looking forward to doing excursions again with my next cruise. The catch is, what if I decide I don't want to do excursions? What if I just want to walk around the port and hang out? Can't do that anymore. If you're going to leave the ship going forward, it has to be on a cruise line approved excursion. So this is either a contractor that is working with the cruise line, or a tour that is run by the cruise line. So it has to be approved by the cruise line. No more self-exploring or anything like that. If you remember, like maybe a month ago, the MSC cruise where the family went and self-explored and got kicked off the ship, keep that in mind, because that's what's going to be going forward. Talked about sanitation. Self-check-in. So self-check-in is going to be a quick way to get on the ship. It's supposed to limit the space, the crowding of people trying to get on the boat and off the boat at the same time. I don't know how this is going to play with Royal Caribbean with the Key program, because the Key program is supposed to, let you on the ship early anyway, so that you can get, you know, your your welcome lunch. You get to walk around. I don't know if they'll let you in your room right away, but you get to walk around and stuff like that. So the question is, how does this play out with the Key program? And we are still learning how that is. And my cruise with Royal Caribbean is in February of next year. Fingers crossed, toes crossed, and hair crossed. So we'll see how that plays out, but we don't know. As for crowding on the ship, they're going to limit how many people go in large indoor areas. That means the theater and the casino, for example. They're also, if you take a gym class or something, it's going to be outside in the open. So that's how it's going to be. So you might take a Zumba class on the Lido deck, which is outside on the top deck of the ship. Things like that. Also, you must wear masks everywhere. The only two places really you don't have to wear a mask, they have said so far, I think it's 3, but it's only 2 for right now, is if you're in the restaurant or while you're either eating and drinking. So if you're on the Lido deck and you're drinking a drink, you know, you can take the mask off, drink your drink, and put it back on. I think that you should be able to take off your mask on the Lido deck as well, but don't take that one from me, because in Walt Disney World, when you're around the pool, you don't have to wear your mask. So that's why I'm thinking maybe you won't have to wear your mask on the Lido deck because you're around the pool. But they have not said that yet. But they did say there's going to be increased spacing between the pool chairs and the tables, and you know, they're going to have the social distancing even then. Which is great for me, because I have been on cruises where the chairs are like stacked right next to each other, and the only way you can get on is crawl in and crawl out. Yeah, that's a cruise for you, baby. They're going to limit also capacity on cruises. So some cruises in Europe, I believe, are doing either 20 or 30% capacity. I believe the cruise lines in the United States have asked for either 60 to 80%. I have a feeling CDC is going to do 50% or lower, and majority of those rooms are going to have to be balcony rooms. So you either going to have to purchase the balcony prior, or depending on your cruise line, get the lowest room and pay for an upgrade or bid for an upgrade. Personally, I would just do what I got to do and just pay for the balcony outright, because with the upgrades and the bidding, it's all about availability. So I have a feeling those who have like purchased their cruise like 2 years ago might get, this is my feeling, might get a free upgrade to a balcony to keep in the CDC guidelines. Also, with the medical, they're going to expand their medical facilities as well as their staff. So now they're asking for doctors who have had ER experience or trauma experience, which is great. That means it's not only going to be a doctor there, there's going to be a doctor or a nurse and a physician's assistant. And they're supposed to set aside cruise rooms for those who get sick or have guidelines to isolate the people in the room if somebody gets the disease or gets sick. There are going to be rapid testing in the afternoon to make sure that everybody's on even kilter. And when I mean testing, I mean temperature checks, not actual testing. And that is the bulk of it. I mean, one of the rumors was prior to these guidelines being released was where people who were overweight or with pre-existing conditions be allowed on ships, or do they have to have a doctor's note? That is not in the guidelines. So that's a no on that one. But my suggestion would be, like, my trip is in February. Round about this time, I would be talking to my doctor, telling my doctor, I am going on 2 cruises, and one in January, one in February. They're back to back. What tests that I have to take to make sure I'm okay. When I went on my cruise 2 years ago, I took Hep A, B, and C series and my flu shot, and that was good because, you know, if you're in the, if anything happens, you already have those shots. I don't think I need to take the hepatitis one again, but I will have to take the flu shot again. And it is recommended by the CDC to take your flu shot, because the warning is, and it's already started overseas, is that the next wave of coronavirus is going to be worse than the first wave. The United States have already hit 200,000 people who have died from coronavirus. New York City was the hardest hit in the beginning, and we happened to get it under control. Question is, for how long? I'm praying forever. But I know that's impossible because kids are back to school, colleges are back open. I had been home since March and didn't start going back to work until May or June. And now I'm going into the office twice a week for the new job. And so far, so good. I mean, I bring my antibacterial spray everywhere I go. I'm washing my hands like 3 or 4 or 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 times a day. I'm wearing my mask. I bought masks from Old Navy, which is, I don't need to design a mask, to tell you the truth. So I get a mask from Old Navy, and I just coordinate that with my outfits when I go on my cruises. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to make sure I bring enough masks for the whole trip, but make sure it coordinates with what I'm wearing, because I'm going to have to wear that mask when I'm not eating or drinking. There's ways of going around this. There's ways of doing these things. We just need to find the best way, best practice. People are saying, oh, this is just a 3-month thing, blah, blah, blah. It was only 30 days. That was back in February. We're going into October right now. Today is September 22nd. We're going into October. This is our normal. It's not even the new normal, because I hate that phrase. This is our normal. So we as a people have to knuckle down and just be like, don't be hard-headed about it, because, you know, we are hard-headed. No matter where you are in the country or in the world, we're all hard-headed. So don't be hard-headed about it. Wear your mask, okay? Make sure you're healthy. Take your vitamins. Eat those green vegetables. We as a people, as an individual, because I'm doing this for myself, and when I wear my mask, I'm not protecting me, I'm protecting you. Because if anything's wrong with me, I don't want to be the guilty parties thinking I got you sick. So with the whole vitamin thing, you're trying to make yourself healthy. You're trying to make sure that your body is A-okay, so that you can do the fun stuff you want to do. I like to do fun stuff. Do you think I like being quarantined in here? No, I don't like being here. Most people who know I like to go out and have fun. But that is the state of the world today. With the cruises, will I be going on a cruise? I just told you. I got 2 scheduled, back to back. I'm going on the Blue Reunion Blue Reunion 2K1 or 20K1. I don't care. I'm on the boat. That's all that matters. I'm going to be with my sorors and my fry. Yeah, I'm going. That's 3 days. And right after I get off of that, I'm going on another cruise from the same port with Royal Caribbean, and for 4 days. Because, 3 days is just an appetizer. I need 7 or better. Like I said, I'm a cruiser. But what I'm saying is, We need to live a better lifestyle. We have to wake up. And I do realize people are going to do what they want to do. And that's cool. You want to do what you want to do. But don't take me down with you. Do it safely. Do it healthy. I have been tooting my horn about this whole mask thing and everything. Just do it. Thank you for listening to my little getting myself ready for the cruise rant. And with all the new guidelines, please note that nothing has been set in stone as of yet. CDC still has to vote on it and still has to agree with it. So right now, this is just a proposal that both CLIA, Norwegian, and Royal Caribbean have announced. Royal Caribbean, the Health and Norwegian Healthy Sail Council put out a 60-plus page report with 74 topics that needs to be done for safety reasons. And CLIA basically repeated the same stuff. Some of the things are temporary, some of the things are for permanent. I suggest you read it and you decide for yourself. Personally, I'm going to get my body ready. I'm going to get me ready. The people I'm going with, they're getting their selves ready. So we have to do what we have to do, and we have to do it safely. Our normal is what it is. So stop saying new normal, because it's not going back to the old normal. The old normal would say coronavirus has been zapped, as well as every other virus and disease that we have. And we know it's not going to happen. And if you are thinking that a vaccine is going to come next week, I have news for you. A vaccine may not come for another 2 to 3 years. Because right now, what we're doing is we're fast tracking it instead of taking our time and doing it right. Look at all the stuff that has came out about the CDC had regulations put on their website that they didn't even agree about. So what I am saying is be safe, wear your mask, wash your hands, as well as keep your space. I hope you liked this video. If you did, please like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thanks and have a good one. Bye-bye.